नमस्ते, गुड इवनिंग। क्या हाल चाल है, कैसे हो रहा है? बस ऐसे 10 मिनट के लिए लाइव पे आई हूँ हेलो बोलने के लिए, ऐसे सवाल जवाब करने के लिए। तो बस थोड़ा रुक जाते हैं, लोग आ जाएंगे। सो मैं कुछ 2-3 हफ्तों से थोड़ा मतलब नहीं 1 महीनों से थोड़ा सा ऑफलाइन थी, क्योंकि एक्चुअली मेरी फ़ोन चोरी हो गई थी। तो यहाँ पे नहीं, वियतनाम में। तो इसलिए मुझे बहुत मुश्किल हुआ कि कंटेंट बनाने के लिए मुझे इतना मुश्किल हुआ कि वो सब। लेकिन कम से कम मेरा सारे कॉन्टैक्ट्स, सारे जो फ़ोटोज़, वो सब सेव हुआ था। लेकिन फिर उसको सब वापस मिलने में थोड़ा टाइम लगा। तो दैट्स व्हाई आई एम बैक। एंड बस थोड़ा सा लोग ऐसे पूछ रहे हैं, so I'll just start answering. Some people are saying, how's your day? Oh, fine, thank you, all good. So people are saying that people are asking कितने साल लगा हिंदी सीखने में। तो एक्चुअली मैं ट्यूशन ले रही थी, मैंने ट्यूशन किया था फॉर 1.5 साल. So I did a tuition, like a full-time study for about 1.5 years, but I was also very immersed. और उस टाइम मैं हरिद्वार में रह रही थी, हरिद्वार उत्तराखंड। तो उस टाइम तो मैं काफ़ी यंग थी। बच्चों के बाद नया भाषा सीखना आसान नहीं है, क्योंकि उसमें कितना टाइम डेडिकेट करना है, और अलग अलग जगह अलग अलग लोगों से के साथ बात करना है। And when you're a parent, you have to spend a lot of time with your kids. And ये हमारा responsibility है, हमारी जिम्मेदारी है। तो इसलिए I think it's easier to learn a language when you're younger than once you have many responsibilities. तो वियतनाम कैसा था? हाँ, good question. वियतनाम गए थे अभी, we left जून जुलाई। अच्छा रहा, अच्छा देश है, बहुत सुंदर है, बहुत वहाँ के लोग बहुत अच्छे हैं। मेरा थोड़ा सा गड़बड़ अनुभव हुआ, थोड़ा ख़राब अनुभव हुआ कुछ चीज़ों के साथ। लेकिन एक्चुअली कुछ चीज़ इंडिया से मिलते हैं और कुछ चीज़ नहीं मिलते हैं इंडिया से। तो आई एन्जॉयड इट अ लॉट. I have enjoyed the way you have adjusted to Bihari life. Thank you. What do I think about the testimony with Congress? Oh my gosh. So if those of you who are not following, this U.S. congressperson, or not congressperson, a previous employee of the U.S. government had claimed that there were UFOs, that they have seen a lot of evidence. So सच में मैं बहुत डर गई हूँ। But इतना डरने की बात नहीं है, मतलब I feel like God is with us, and जो भी दुनिया में है, जो भी है, whatever is there, I feel like confident in my self and my beliefs and in my worldview. So let's see क्या होता है. But yeah, it is a little freaky. I'm a little bit nervous about that. So anyhow, I don't know, what do you all think about that? So what state am I from? I'm from Chicago, which is not a state, it's a city, but there's like 2 major parts of Illinois. There's like Chicago, and then there's everywhere else. Basically is how we think about it. So because Chicago has a very different culture than like the rural areas. जो इंडिया में भी ऐसे नहीं होते हैं ना ज़्यादा, लेकिन है थोड़ा बहुत. But I am actually kind of from both parts. So इसलिए तो लोग पूछ रहे हैं कि when are you coming to India? अरे यार, मैं तो इंडिया में रहती हूँ। ये तो can I speak English in British or American accent? So I'm speaking, my natural accent is American accent. that's, without any effort, that's just the accent which I have. So, one thing that I miss about my hometown, which I can't find in India, I think I really enjoy like driving long distances in the US without any like trouble or traffic, because अगर आप बड़े शहर से निकलेंगे US से, like बहुत दूर हो जाएंगे शहर से, तो बहुत ही स्पीड में चला सकते हैं, बहुत ही मतलब दूर चला सकते हैं गाड़ी without any traffic, any stop, just बिल्कुल. I love driving on the highways in the US. वो मैं बहुत मिस करती हूँ. यहाँ भी गाड़ी चलाती हूँ, लेकिन यहाँ रुक के चलाना पड़ता है कि ये ऐसे चलाना है, तो लेकिन US में इतने स्पीड में काफ़ी दूर तक चला सकते हैं. So someone is saying that they're learning Hindi. They have lots of listen to music and movies and practice, but they still have a long way to go. So that's a great question. And that's a great observation. Especially, I always say that partners make the worst teachers in any language. And I think that you've got good passive, like there's different things. You can passively listen to a language, and then you can actively pursue learning a language. And so you've got a lot of good like passive listening to things, and that is the first step. But then actually learning how to construct a sentence and how to reply, or what questions to ask and how to have a conversation, that's the next step. And so that's really a lot of the things that the programs that I recommend. If you go to my link tree, I have like a bunch of free downloads that suggest different things like that. So you can go there, and of course my courses are there too. So someone's asking, can you please talk to me in an American accent? So I am speaking in an American accent right now. There it is. When are you coming back to Chicago? कोई और पूछ रहा है. शायद 1 साल के बाद, देखते हैं. So Rajasthani language, मुझे Rajasthani language आता नहीं. तो चलिए. So अगर किसी का कोई कुछ पूछना नहीं तो मैं फिर बंद करूँगी. Oh, here's some good questions. हिंदी सीखने के बारे में बहुत अच्छा सवाल question है. So, are there particular sounds in Hindi that are hard for Westerners to pronounce? Yes. Any of the aspirated sounds like bha, gha, dha, and then the dental and retroflex are also very difficult. Like dental are easier for us, like pa or da, but difficult ones would be like ra or na, ka. These are very difficult. Things in the back of the mouth, typically we have a very hard time with pronouncing. So those are some of the things, and actually I talk about this in my pronunciation course on my website. It's learnhindianywhere.com. Self-promotion. But I talk about this in my site, in my course, is the difficulties in how you can correct those things, because pronunciation is very, very, very important in South Asian languages. So, अरे aliens का बहुत ज़्यादा question आ रहा है यार. मैं क्या जानती हूँ उसके बारे में? मैं तो सच में बहुत कम जानती. People think because I'm an American that I might know something that they don't know about it. Like, this is the funny thing, these kind of things when they give these testimonies, this is as much as a surprise to the public in America as it is to the rest of the world. Like, our government has lots of secrets. Every government has lots of secrets. So लोग हमको थोड़ी बता सकते हैं. So, पंजाबी थोड़ा समझ तो थोड़ी समझ में आती होगी. हाँ जी, पंजाबी भी समझती हूँ. Someone's saying, I'm in New York and my girlfriend is from here and wants to learn Hindi. connect her with me, have her follow me, have her watch my videos, have her download my free downloads. I have a lot of suggestions there. And yes, some people are asking about the online Hindi resources. And a lot of the Hindi resources online that you'll find, or even books, or even more ancient, are very outdated. And because I hate to say, I mean, this is the truth, but this is just how it is. A lot of Indian people have never had to learn Hindi. So while you want to learn Hindi from an Indian person, you don't necessarily want to learn Hindi the same way that Indians learn Hindi in school. So when you learn formal Hindi in Indian school, like my children are learning formal Hindi, like written Hindi, my daughter will write, 15 times. What did she write tonight? It was like, whatever the guy's name was, like Pavan Bhajan Kar. Like she'll write it like 15 times. That's not how you learn to speak a language. So that's a lot of times how Indians will try to teach foreigners how to learn Hindi, is just, okay, you have to learn, first of all, let's teach you to write Devanagari. It's great, but it doesn't actually help you learn how to speak. So one of the things that my program does is it deformalizes, it takes you to the stuff you actually need to know today, whether it's something grammatically very easy or something very challenging. We don't go through like in a systematic, like these are the grammar points you need to know. There are plenty of grammar courses out there, but mine is a speaking course. What are the things you need to know today, and how can you say them correctly and start a conversation? Then we come back later and we work on the grammar and getting you more like structured sentences. But how can you start a conversation so you're not awkward? That's basically how my program works. So yes, I would agree with you that a lot of the Hindi programs out there are terrible. Good question. Vidur has asked me, आपको कौन से जगह का खाना पसंद है? I was just discussing with my kids today कि मुझे थाईलैंड का खाना बहुत पसंद है, बहुत ज़्यादा. I love Thai food. मुझे American food भी इतना पसंद नहीं है, और Indian food भी बहुत पसंद है, लेकिन I love the fresh like salad and veggies, and मुझे बहुत पसंद है. Do I miss my first home? If you mean, do I miss the first home I ever lived in? It's a different question. Because like in the US, a lot of people move homes regularly. Like you buy a house, you sell a house, you buy a house, you sell a house. खरीदते बेचते. यहाँ पे क्या होता है, एक बार प्लॉट लेते हैं, घर बनाते हैं, और सदियों तक लोग उसमें रहते हैं. Like you pass it down, right? ऐसे वहाँ पे ऐसे नहीं होता है. So just a piece of cultural information. बहुत क्वेश्चन आया, बहुत बढ़िया क्वेश्चन सब आया. How do you adjust to the patriarchal mindset of smaller town India? Well, I think this is the thing. When I'm in a smaller town, I expect people to behave like they're from a small town. It's when I'm not in a small town, and when someone who's like very educated or in a position of leadership that behaves very rudely with women, that's when I get very upset. Like, I think when it's someone who should know better, that's when I have a problem, if that makes sense. My parents' reaction on me marrying an Indian person and adopting Indian culture. So the thing about like Americans is like, a lot of times people don't really care. If your kids are happy and your kids are living their life and they have a job and they're independent, you've done your job as a parent, and that's like a success. So my parents were very happy when I met my husband, because he's a great guy. They just want to know, is he a good guy and how does he treat her? They don't care like about like money and all this stuff. Like most Americans actually don't care about those things. They care mostly, is my kid happy? and are they making good decisions? Are they independent? Like, they don't care if you make a lot of money or don't make a lot of money. Most Americans. Now, Indian Americans care a lot about those things. So if you're asking your relative who lives in America, who's an Indian, वो लोग कुछ और ही बताएंगे. So generally, like, I'm from, you know, a Caucasian family, so हम लोग का सोच अलग है. Indian Americans का सोच अलग है. African Americans का सोच अलग होगा. Korean American का सोच अलग है. तो वैसा. चलिए. Do any of my courses have one-to-one or group instruction in real time? So at this point, I am not doing any live instruction, but what I do is I do live instruction consultations. So what I do is I act more as a language coach to people who may be like very lost or say like, hey, I just started, I'm not making progress, or how would you suggest this program and that program? And I also do a tutor matching. So I really believe that I mean, people could take classes with me to learn Hindi, but I think it's really best to work with a native speaker. I believe very strongly that learning from a native speaker is what everybody should do. But sometimes you don't know how to start, or you might not know whom to connect with or who to trust, or what kind of like curriculum you should go through based on your situation. So that's what I suggest. I create create a program or some like lessons for you, and I help you through that, and I give you feedback on your skill level, pronunciation. I do an assessment, and then I do a tutor matching program. So that's how I serve. I don't go through and do like a one-on-one, you know, let's learn, you know, ga, ka, ga, ga, that kind of thing. That's not what I do. So that is, but the one-on-one consults I do, and that's all on my website. LearnHindiAnywhere.com. So I think that's all. I mean, there's so many good questions. This happens every live. When I just say goodbye, then there's so many good questions that come in. वही होते हैं. So thank you everyone. कितना अच्छा सब क्वेश्चन सब पूछा हिंदी के बारे में और मेरे बारे में. अगर मेरे बारे में और जानना है तो आप मेरे YouTube पे जा सकते हैं, और आप मेरे Instagram के वीडियोस को देख सकते हैं, तो वो अच्छा होगा. ठीक है. गुड नाइट सबको. नमस्ते. सो जाओ.